What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another video on high altitude investing. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Bitcoin Cash. But before we get started, if you're not a member of the free Discord, please click the link in the description box below and get started with the free Discord. And without further ado, we'll get straight into today's video. So basically, we're going to look at Bitcoin Cash on the one-day candlesticks first and foremost. And the first thing I want to point out for you guys today is this bullish divergence. So you can see price made a lower low right here. We have a low here and a lower low right here. Well, the MACD actually made a low and a higher low. So that's bullish divergence here on Bitcoin Cash. This is also a major area of support over here. As you can see, we have a lot of support in this area. So I do think we will see a strong reaction off of this support level based on the bullish divergence and this horizontal support. The other thing we do see here with Bitcoin Cash is a nice rounded bottom. You can see here price is starting to round out very nicely in a rounded bottom structure. So that's generally very, very bullish to see a rounded bottom forming on any market. And in fact, it's one of the highest probability trading patterns that there is. The other thing we do see here with Bitcoin Cash is a nice ABC correction. As you can see, we have wave A right here, wave B right here, and wave C coming back down to this major support level. So this is a very strong buying opportunity for Bitcoin Cash to pick it up down here at the bottom of this ABC correction. Well, we see price testing major support, bullish divergence forming, and a rounded bottom forming all at the same time at the bottom of this ABC correction. So we're getting a lot of confluence of different bullish patterns forming in this market on the daily time frame. So I do think we will start to see a reversal out of this correction and price start to turn around here and start to push up through these local resistance levels of $449, $519, and eventually $712. So that's what we see here on the daily time frame. A lot of bullishness in this chart, a lot of different patterns and indicator signals that are showing that Bitcoin Cash could see a strong bullish reversal here. Now, if we remove all the drawing tools here real quick and zoom out to a little bit of a higher time frame, you will see there's also a lot of bullishness on Bitcoin Cash out here on the higher time frame. So on the bigger picture, we also have an ABC correction. As you can see, a big ABC correction formed here on Bitcoin Cash. Price went sideways for quite some time, then started to break bullish out of those lows and start to see bullish momentum coming into the market. Now, markets aren't just going to go straight up after a big correction like this most of the time. A lot of times they're going to have to make stair-stepping kind of action before they build up that momentum and start to go parabolic again. And that's exactly what we see here with Bitcoin Cash. So this is very typical of any market, whether you're trading gold, silver, Bitcoin, like any crypto out there. Whatever you're trading, you're going to see the same type of market structure most of the time. After a big correction, if we're going to see bullishness come into the market, most of the time it has to build some momentum and see a little bit of stair-stepping action in the market before prices really start to take off. And a good example of this is actually Bitcoin itself. So if we look at Bitcoin over here on the right, and you can see the similarities between these two charts, there's a lot of similarities. Both of these charts have a perfect ABC correction. Both of these charts had sideways accumulation at the bottom of the market. Both of these charts had to build up momentum along the way back up. And what I think will happen here with Bitcoin Cash is something very similar to what happened on Bitcoin back in 2016 when Bitcoin started breaking bullish out of this area right here. This drop on Bitcoin Cash right here basically perfectly coincides with this drop over here on Bitcoin. You can see the same type of stair-stepping action in both of these markets. So what I do think could happen here with Bitcoin Cash is a strong reversal, just like what happened to Bitcoin in 2016 and what continued to happen throughout 2017 as price really started to go parabolic after it built enough momentum to break its old all-time high. So that would look something like this here with Bitcoin Cash. Let's line up these two charts. And you could see maybe something like this, where price starts to accelerate again. It pushes up through that resistance, maybe corrects a couple times, and then really starts to break out through that resistance as the market picks up momentum and makes a new local high. Now, the all-time high for Bitcoin Cash is actually a lot higher than $1,600 per coin. We're looking on the Binance futures contract, and so because of that, we don't see all of the historical data, but I do think that as Bitcoin Cash breaks out above this local high and builds momentum, a lot like what happened to Bitcoin in 2016 and 2017, we will eventually see a break above the old all-time high on Bitcoin Cash. Now, if we zoom out here to a bigger time frame using a different exchange, so we actually get all of the historical data, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about here. And by the way, in one of my previous videos, I did also talk about this bull flag on Bitcoin Cash because we do see a bullish flag forming right here on Bitcoin Cash. So that's another bullish pattern to be looking at here in the near future. So let's zoom out a little bit here and look at what I'm talking about. If you zoom out on Bitcoin Cash and look at the bigger picture, you can see a massive accumulation pattern. Here's the real all-time high. Here's that local high that we were just looking at. I do think eventually we will get above this old all-time high level. This is consistent accumulation. A lot of big companies are accumulating Bitcoin Cash, like Grayscale and a lot of other companies. So they obviously see value in it. And this entire pattern that formed all through this whole period right here is really just a massive accumulation pattern in preparation for what I believe will be a very big bull market. So that could look something like this. As price starts to accelerate above that local high, then we could see price really accelerate and make this big kind of rounded shape in the bigger picture that would take us to a new all-time high for Bitcoin Cash above that previous level of about 4,300 per coin. Now, a great way to see this happening in action is actually to look at Litecoin, because Litecoin did a very similar pattern back in the day, early day Litecoin. If you go over to Bitfinex, you're going to get the most historical data for Litecoin. So let's pull this chart up really quick, and I'll show you exactly what I mean here. So back in the day, Litecoin did pretty much this exact same pattern that Bitcoin Cash is doing right now. So let's line these two charts up and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here's Litecoin on the bottom and here's Bitcoin Cash on the top. And if we just drag these charts to map up a little bit here, and you can see the same type of structure in both of these markets, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So when big players are accumulating any market, a lot of times price will go sideways and even slightly down for a while, right? Like the market really hasn't gone up. It's gone sideways and had a lot of little corrections down here. And same with Bitcoin Cash. It really hasn't skyrocketed or mooned since 2017. Why? Because a lot of big players are consistently accumulating it down here at dirt cheap prices. And really they're just buying as price goes sideways and even slightly down most of the time in preparation for a big breakout. So this is what an accumulation pattern looks like. This is the kind of structure the market makes in preparation for a big picture breakout. And again, like I said, Grayscale's accumulating Bitcoin Cash. A lot of big companies are accumulating this coin, and I don't think they're doing that blindly. I believe they're doing that with a faith and a belief that the market will break out in a big and meaningful way. And because of that, they're buying it down here while it's really cheap in preparation for a bigger picture breakout that really breaks above that old all-time high and blows a lot of people away. So that's what I'm seeing here with Bitcoin Cash. I do think we will have a nice turnaround here, a nice breakout as a result of this accumulation pattern, as a result of the bullish divergence, the rounded bottom, the structure that looks like early day Bitcoin, and the bull flag pattern, and all of the things that we're seeing in this chart. There's a lot of reasons to be bullish on Bitcoin Cash, and I do believe that those big players are accumulating this coin with a faith and a belief that it will break out and see a lot more upside from here. So that's kind of my views. I see a lot of bullishness coming in this market. I see a lot of opportunity. I believe you can get super rich investing in it down here. Well, it's only worth $348. That's like dirt cheap in comparison to what this coin could be worth in the future. So that's my update on Bitcoin Cash. And I really do think big things are coming in this coin. And I believe it will be a big player this cycle. Hey, thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. I love and appreciate every single one of you. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor and share it with your friends. And I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos. As always, stay profitable out there.